Venus, the morning star, the evening star, a constant, silent sentinel in our skies, so bright, so persistent, so familiar. For thousands of years, humans have looked to this glowing orb with reverence, fear, awe, and wonder. Ancient civilizations marked Venus's movements with astonishing precision. The Maya, the Babylonians, the Greeks, they tracked its appearances and disappearances like celestial rituals. Venus was more than a planet. It was a god, a sign, a symbol. And yet, for all of our fascination, for all the telescopes, probes, and satellites we've launched into the heavens, there is one simple, perplexing fact. We still don't really know what Venus looks like. You've seen images, of course, perhaps even in textbooks or science documentaries. Maybe a glowing, rust-colored surface under heavy skies, or volcanic plains baked in an eerie orange light. Maybe a fiery red planet, veiled in smoke, like a cosmic inferno. But what if I told you those images aren't real? What if I told you there is no actual, full-color photograph of Venus's surface? Not even one. In an age of planetary selfies from Mars rovers and crisp flybys of distant moons, how is it that our closest planetary neighbor, a world just 38 million miles away, remains visually unknown? Let's unravel that mystery. Let's unmask Venus. Imagine standing on a world that doesn't want to be seen, a world that actively resists observation. That is Venus. Unlike the Moon, or Mars, or Mercury, all of which have surfaces you can observe through a telescope, Venus is completely, utterly opaque to visible light. Its thick, acidic atmosphere wraps around it like a shroud. It isn't just cloudy, it's permanently overcast. The entire planet is encased in dense clouds made primarily of sulfuric acid droplets, suspended in a suffocating blanket of carbon dioxide. These clouds aren't just thick, they're reflexive. They reflect about 75 to 80% of all sunlight that hits them. This is why Venus appears so bright in our sky. It's reflecting sunlight like a mirror. But that same brightness hides the truth beneath. No human eye, no Earth-based telescope, not even the mighty Hubble Space Telescope, has ever seen the surface of Venus. It is, quite literally, invisible in the spectrum of light we see. Venus is a planet in disguise. So how do we know anything about the surface of Venus? We do it the same way a blind person might map a room, not with sight, but with echoes. In 1989, NASA launched a spacecraft called Magellan. Its mission wasn't to take photographs, because cameras were useless. Instead, it was equipped with synthetic aperture radar, a technology that bounces microwave signals off the planet's surface and measures how they return. Microwaves can penetrate clouds that visible light cannot. By analyzing the reflected signals, Magellan could determine surface texture, elevation, and geological features, not by seeing them, but by sensing how rough or smooth they were, how steep or flat, how reflective or absorptive. Over the course of 4 years, Magellan mapped about 98% of the planet's surface. The data was incredible, revealing mountains, ridges, vast plains, volcanoes, and complex geological formations. It painted a picture of a dynamic, alien world. But, and this is crucial, the picture wasn't in color. It wasn't even a picture at all. It was raw data, numbers, signals, intensity maps. Scientists turned that data into grayscale topographical models. Then, using that data, they created visualizations, images based on the information, but not photos in any traditional sense. To make them more engaging and easier to interpret, they added false colors. These colors might represent elevation, blue for lowlands, red for highlands. Or radar reflectivity, bright yellows and whites for smooth surfaces, darker colors for rough terrain. But none of these images represent what a human eye would see on Venus. Because, to this day, no human and no camera has ever truly seen the surface in natural light. There's one remarkable exception to this visual mystery. Only one source of real images, taken from the ground, the Soviet Venera landers. Between 1961 and 1984, the Soviet Union launched a series of increasingly ambitious missions to Venus. Most failed. Some burned up in the atmosphere. Others crashed or lost contact. But a few, notably Venera 9, 10, 13, and 14, made it. These landers were marvels of engineering. They were built to survive crushing pressures, 92 times Earth's atmospheric pressure, equivalent to being nearly a kilometer underwater. And they had to withstand temperatures over 465 degrees Celsius, 869 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt lead. Each lander had only minutes, in some cases just seconds, before they succumbed to the environment. But during that brief window, a few of them managed to capture and transmit images from the surface. Those images are eerie. They show a desolate, rocky landscape, flat slabs of cracked basalt, scattered stones, and a dim, orange-tinted haze filtering the sunlight. There are no clouds, no sky as we know it, just thick, suffocating atmosphere and rock. These are the only true photographs of Venus's surface ever taken. And they were taken over 40 years ago with the limited technology of the early 1980s. Even these photos weren't in true color. They were filtered through orange and red lenses, not to reflect reality, but to compensate for the lighting and chemical haze. Color correction later made them appear orange, but we still don't know if that's what the surface really looks like. These haunting, grainy photos are all we have. So what about all those high-resolution, colorful, dramatic images of Venus you see online? The ones used in documentaries, science books, and even space agencies' websites? They're not real photographs. They're not even composites. They're renderings, visualizations built from radar data, atmospheric models, thermal imaging, and a hefty dose of educated guesswork. When you see red, swirling clouds, that's often ultraviolet imaging used to capture upper atmospheric patterns. When you see orange skies and glowing rocks, that's an interpretation, not an observation. When you see mountain ranges lit by a distant sun, that lighting is artificially added. The actual sunlight reaching Venus's surface is weak, diffuse, and colored by the acidic haze. None of these images show what the human eye would perceive. This isn't deception, it's necessity. We need visuals to help explain what we've learned. But we must also recognize that these images are approximations, not the truth. Now, you might be wondering, why does this matter? Isn't this just an academic exercise? Not at all. Because Venus is not just mysterious, it's critical. Venus is a cautionary tale. Many scientists believe that Venus may have once been habitable. It might have had oceans, a temperate climate, maybe even conditions ripe for life. But a runaway greenhouse effect transformed it. Carbon dioxide built up, trapping more and more heat, until the oceans boiled away and the planet became a searing furnace. Studying Venus could teach us more about climate change, atmospheric collapse, and the fragility of planetary systems. It could teach us more about Earth. But we can't fully study what we can't fully see. To get real answers, we'll need better tools. Landers that last longer. Cameras designed to capture visible light through dense haze. Orbiters that can image the surface in ultra-high resolution. Perhaps even robotic balloons that float in Venus's upper atmosphere, where conditions are surprisingly Earth-like. Until then, we're fumbling through a veil, seeing only shadows and simulations. Venus is the brightest object in our sky, yet it hides more than any other planet. It is a world wrapped in secrets, a sister planet that took a darker path, a mirror of Earth's past, and possibly a warning about its future. And above all, it is a place we've never truly seen.